Hey everyone, thank you very much for joining me. My name is Abdul, and in this video I'm gonna explain you how we process the salaries here in UAE. So the question is, who am I and why I am creating this video? I've been working in accounting for more than 10 years. I've worked as a finance manager, group financial accountant, so I know what I'm talking about. A friend of mine, he called me last week. He said, Abdul, you've been working for a long time in UAE. So he works as a HR manager, so he wants to understand how we here collaborate, HR department and accounting department, in order to process the salaries. Let's hop onto my computer. So let me explain you how this whole cycle is working. Alright guys, so in this video I'll try to explain you as much as possible. The whole process starts from the HR department. So what happens in the HR department, there is a list. It is called a master list, and that master list, each and every nitty-gritty and each and every detail of the employees is kept. On your screen you can see there is a sample master list which is actually being used in a company. So I'll taken all the data out and I kept the boxes in order to see for you what exactly it is all about. So in that list you're gonna see the employee names, employee numbers, department, date of joining, nationality, date of birth, so on and so forth. And then there is the most relevant thing is salary, basic, what are the allowances and what are their total or gross salaries. This list, basically part of it gives the guidance to the accounts department how much we've agreed for the salaries to specific employees and what are their allowances. So once this thing is available from the HR department, at the end of the month they're gonna provide this to the accounting department. Now there is another thing. In order to process the salaries, we need to know who was working during the month and who was not. And how this thing is being achieved is basically majority of the companies here in UAE, they have finger scanning or face scanning system, and whenever you enter, you punch in, scan your finger or the face, and once you leave the company, you're gonna punch your finger or face. Whole list is being created in this way. So I'll show you one example, attendance log for the employees for 2016, and I have changed the name, but this is actual log of the attendance system, June 2016. Let's see on one sample employees log. You can see the employee number here. Their employee number is 67. That's the name of the person. And what happened, what was the date, is 10th of June 2016. Then how they come in, come out, and end of the time the system shows us that this person has been working 8 hours during the day. There is later on some processing from the account department, it needs to be done, and then there is some processing needs to be done from the accounting department or from the HR department. Now the interesting thing is, in some companies HR department is managing the attendance system, and in some companies they give it over to accounting department. At the end of the month they take the log. It depends from the start of the month to the end of the month. Accounting or HR department, they will record the attendance and then they will process it. And how the processing it, let's say now in this example HR department is handling attendance system. So what happens, they will gonna calculate the number of hours. Let's say the actual number of hours this person was supposed to was 8, so there is no problem at all. For example, if the shift is 10 hours or 12 hours, we need to look at how much time they are short, and we need to deduction accordingly. Once the master list is created, this master list along with additions, deductions, it is transferred to a salary statement. So what happens in the salary statement, this is purely done from the accounting department. And what happens, they're gonna see the name of the person. Here all the names are changed, so these are our factual names, these are not the actual names. So I just created for you to demonstrate. So now there is a person, is called, his name is Bilal. So I'll take this person's example. I'll try to explain how this thing is worked. For example, in 1 month, so looking at the logs of the system, okay, the system shows that he was absent for 1 day. In the total in the June there were 30 days. All right, so what was the basic salary, hours, whatever the allowances are, and that's the total gross salary this guy is supposed to take after the deduction. If you look at here, it is actually telling, see the formula here is basically gross salary. All right, our number of days as well, which are here somewhere. Yeah, and whatever the days is being taken out, so the formula works properly, and whatever the days the person didn't work, it is being deducted, and the total earned salary is shown here. All right, so then if there is some calculation for the actual extra works, for the variables and so on and so forth, and then there is a net salary is calculated. So afterwards, if there is any deduction is required, or if there is any addition is required, additions, I will give you the example. For example, if they've been working extra hours and they are supposed to be paid for it, so these hours are calculated and they are included in the salary list. Again, if they've been short hours, or if they already took some advance and we need to deduct from them, so that's where we calculate those and incorporate those changes. Afterwards, we calculate the net salary. So once this net salary is calculated, it is thoroughly checked by the HR department sometimes, but mostly it is thoroughly checked by the accounts manager. Then this is forwarded to the manager. It could be operation manager, it could be general manager, who is supposed to supervise this process. And in bigger companies, it's mostly dealt with HR and the accounting department. No other input is taken. The company with the size of 100 or less than 100 people is being reviewed by the GM or the owner of the company, and once they review it, they will tell us if there is something to be changed. Otherwise, they will give us a go ahead. Now what happens is, this is an Excel sheet we have created. It is signed and stamped by the relevant people, and now it depends what kind of like payment system you are using. Some companies, they're going to use the banks, they're going to use the money exchanges in order to transfer the money or the salary into the employee's account. Banks, they're going to ask us to create a zip file. File is created along with the cash or check. It is sent to the bank, which is also being taken out from the person from the accounts department, and they deposit the check and bank inside the exchange or inside the bank. So now what happens, they will check each and everything, and they will transfer the salaries. It normally takes 3 to 4 hours to 24 hours in order to send the salaries from the exchange or from the bank to the person's account, to the employee's account. So now up till here, everything is okay. Obviously, there is another question which I was asked, is how end of the salary is calculated if during the month, if an employee is leaving. Labor's website, and there is a kind of guidelines we have here. So in a general terms, if a person is working in the company less than 1 year, they're not supposed to take anything except the salaries. And yes, they are required to be given a notice of 1 month either side. Like if the company was to fire them, they need to give 1 month notice, and depending upon if they are in probation or not. And for example, if they are in probation period, which is normally 3 to 6 months, the company can fire the employees right away. And the same goes true for the employees, that they can leave the company within the time limit. And if the probation period is gone and they've been in less than 1 year, they're not supposed to take anything extra in terms of gratuity. So if a person, as written in the rule, and if a person is being in the company for more than 1 year but less than 5 years, they are supposed to be taking 21 days of the salary for each year for up till 5 years. All right, and if they've been working for more than 5 years, then they are supposed to take 1 month salary for each year, depending upon the number of years. All right, so now I have created a sample end of service for you to demonstrate. So basically here what happens is, in this simple calculation, what we do is we're gonna look at what are the time or what are the day the employee has joined, and what is the starting day and what is the last day of their work inside the company. And then we look at, exactly how many years or how many months they've been working in. So in this particular case, we can see the person's salary is 3,000. I keep it simple so that you can understand. So let's say a person's salary is 3,000 and this person been working roughly 1 year and 8 months inside the company. All right, so we say that during the month which is not paid is for 22 days, it's not been paid. So what happens, we will calculate the work for him. Since it is 100 dirham per month they are being paid, so their total salary for the month is coming 2,200. all right, so if there is anything, like if they were supposed to take any vacation and we didn't give them the vacation, then they are supposed to take the vacations as well. All right, so the same salary will go for them. So these guys, let's say the 18 days they did not took, so we paid them for the 18 days, and if there is any overtime, and this much is the total amount is coming. All right, so now when we go for the gratuity, we can see like start from to finish. Okay, they total work 1 year 8 months. All right, so if you see the formula, what we say is we were supposed to pay them 2,100 per year, okay, for 1 year, and so per month is gonna be, if you divide by 12 and multiply 20 months in total, 12 plus 8, which is 20 months this guy been working, and 20 months this person has been working. So we calculate the salary is coming 3,500. so the total gonna be is this much amount, and I'm sorry, so this is the total amount we should be paying in terms of end of service for the person at the time they leave the company. All right, if you are still looking at this video, it means that you have gone through all and you now understand how the payroll is processed down here in UAE. So if you have any questions, just leave a comment in the comment box and I would right away answer those. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day ahead. Goodbye.